Now we move on to some introductions about the awards. The first introduction will come from Jim Higgins. Jim's the former president of Internet NZ and also a fellow of Internet NZ. Jim has been an ICT professional and activist for longer than anyone wants to remember. I first met Jim when he was running the Palmerston North City Computer in 1976, I think. Since then, Jim has shown a real commitment to ICT and local government and led several industry organisations. Jim was the director of the remarkable public and private sector initiative called the World Communications Laboratory, which helped accelerate New Zealand into a very high uptake of the internet. Welcome to the stage, Jim.
Good evening, distinguished guests, good friends, ladies and gentlemen, and especially people who've come from a long way away in Maryland. It's great to see you here, wherever you are, Maryland. It's just wonderful that someone would come so far for this. Before announcing the award, I'd like to take a moment or two just to say a few words about Liz. When I first persuaded Liz to come on what was then the Internet Society Council, I did so because I knew that she would bring with her that incredible drive and focus and that volcano of ideas that I felt the society really needed in those early days. But even more so, we needed her sense of fun and joy for life. We had some fairly dour people on board the council at that time. They're actually the ones who aren't here tonight, I should say, before I get attacked in the bar later. I always knew that if I gave Liz a job to do, there would be no doubt that she would do it to the peak of perfection. Her enthusiasm was such that I used to give her jobs with some little trepidation. I always feared that she would come back having achieved world domination or have taken over two ends in the process. Sorry, Ernie. In those days, running the council was a major cat herding exercise, and things used to get quite sort of complex and difficult, and we sometimes had an over-focus on the trivial and people with quite fixed ideas about how things should work. When things got murky, I could always rely on Liz to come through with her razor-sharp intellect and let's cut the crap. We need to do such and such. And the respect in which she was held by councillors meant that would be it. End of argument, we moved on. On the personal side, Liz was a good friend and one of those rare things, a lovely and good person. My world's a little less bright without her in it. Moving on to the foundation, those of you who know me know that I've been rabbiting on about Internet New Zealand forming a charitable foundation for more years than I can remember. People used to get quite pissed off with me about it, actually, but I'm absolutely chuffed that it's finally happened. I really am. And I couldn't think of a better name for it than the Liz Dengate Thrush Foundation. Tonight I am very honoured to be able to announce the Societal Impact Award for the application, goods or services provided on the internet likely to have the most beneficial impact on New Zealand society. The Foundation would expect to receive applications for the award in such areas as social networking software, the MySpace type applications, software for selective blocking of illegal or harmful sites, telemedicine, the application of remote diagnostics, and even for the brave, application remote surgery, e-democracy, online voting, taking us back to the village green, banking, security surveillance, and emergency management systems, and of course a wide range of other similar applications. I'd quite like one that stopped me getting parking tickets, actually, if you can run to that. Peter tells me the details of rules, etc. still have to be worked out, but the award will be, in his words, substantial, and I'll hold him to that. And I look forward to seeing some very worthwhile applicants over the course of the next 12 months. So, thank you.
I have a very special privilege tonight to introduce Marilyn Cade. Marilyn will talk to us about the next award, but apart from the normal introduction, Marilyn is a very special friend of the foundation, and I'd just like to say that Marilyn's come a long way for this. She's twisted a lot of arms. She was an integral part of founding the Liz Dengate Thrush Foundation. She, in fact, managed to get the first donation out of Vince Cerf, which is actually a huge thing. So, but Marilyn has been described as the mother of ICANN, and I think that's, and she's also been a member of Internet NZ since its very earliest days. Marilyn's a Washington-based consultant and lobbyist who's represented companies like AT&T in arenas including ICANN and the ITU, which is a very scary organisation, and has played a crucial oversight role in keeping ICANN tracking to its original principles. Marilyn is a member of the ICANN President's Strategy Committee and, most importantly, is Internet New Zealand's roving ambassador promoting the Internet NZ model assertively around the planet, as well as being a great model for others. Welcome to the stage, Marilyn.
On your table in front of you, you have a picture that depicts a woman who has made a profound impact to all of us. And I'm honored to be here with you, with those who knew and loved her, who knew her best, to help to contribute to honor and to recognize my friend, my colleague, and in the months before the accident, someone who had asked me to help her to make her business dreams come true. Some of the Internet NZ folks know that I first met Liz at the famous or infamous AGM called the Proxy Battle. You know, I came very innocently, invited by Peter, flying all the way from the United States to give a speech on e-commerce and talking about how New Zealand was in fact leading in e-readiness in e-commerce. Did he bother to tell me there was going to be the most exciting proxy battle that had taken place in Internet NZ's life? I don't think so. Fortunately, I was rescued by Liz. Counseled, stayed out of the food fight, managed to survive to the drinks. It was about 2 a.m., I think. Through the process of getting to know Liz, I came to know of her interest, her leadership in Internet in New Zealand, and her passion for the role that capability and user empowerment could bring to people's lives. I began to understand a bit about her commitment to advancing the utilization of the Internet, not only in New Zealand, but in the world, with a special focus on education, entrepreneurship, and engagement. I kept abreast of certain activities. There may be a couple of young ladies here in the audience tonight who I might have heard a few comments about certain exploits. We won't go into any details. Things could be embarrassing. When parents are away, teenagers can play.